What's up everybody, this is Limitz bringing you guys another high level Halo Wars video. This game is going to be against Mitch, Tensa, and the Olympians, and I'm playing with Forges Down and Elysium X. And this game is going to be on Exile, and it will also be a Forge Arby Brute Mirror. So I'm going to be spawning in the middle as the Brute Chieftain, and the first thing I'm going to be doing is sending my chopper over to highlight up this base. And basically that's going to be where Forges Down will double base, and I will be double basing in the back. And so if you look at the other team's lineup, you have Tensa tucked away in the back with his Brute, and Mitch is in the front, and their Arbiter's in the middle. So Elysium, our Arbiter, is in the very back, tucked away.
Where to?
So with Forge on this map, both Forges have expanded. If you look at the mini-map, Mitch is in the middle tier for their team, and Tensa double based in the very back for their team, which is that white box on the mini-map. But since there's Forges on each team, the Arbiters are going to be supplying a click right away, so the Forges can double base and not be behind really.
Fuel up.
Warehouse complete.
Yes.
All units.
So in this matchup right here, basically I'm not going to be getting a click to get my temple out early. So I'm just going to be doing a basic double base brute rush, which is temple 5th on your main base and supply pads all on your secondary. And I'm eventually going to be upgrading that secondary up to a keep and possibly throwing up a hall, a summit, or more supply pads.
All units.
Run them over.
All units.
So Forges Down got his hogs beat up pretty badly early on, and I think he might actually be have lost his hog, one of them.
Warehouse complete. Local units.
And so actually there's Forge's hog. It's just really beat up. It's still alive though.
All units.
And Elysium looks like he's going to be going on offense, which in this situation he can either go on offense or he can go on defense. But it looks like the better choice this game would be to go on offense since both brutes double based. And so now I'm going to be upgrading my secondary to a keep. And I do have an annoying ghost back there, but it's not really going to make a difference. So I see that Olympians has tried to port in suicide grunts here. I'm going to get a ram off. And I'm not sure where his Arby's at. His Arby's actually going to be on my double base brute rush here, on my main base. That's where his Arbiter's at. So he's going to be trying to chop down my economy, which he is going to successfully right here drop one of my supply pads. But I think that we're going to be getting pressure on his grunts and his base right here to the point where he might stop my pad from coming back up, but that's about all he's going to get done for damage. And so we have Elysium basically just camping with my chopper. I'm going to be moving my chopper back. It's getting annoying that Ghost is. I'm going to turn around and try and ram the Ghost, but it's gone now. So anyways, my double base brute rush is now going to be taking off. I'm doing grunts and brutes this game. And what I'm going to do is, since Olympians pushed early Citadel, or I guess the Citadel before the rush occurred, I'm just going to go straight into stripping his base from pads. And Elysium's going to go ahead and sideswipe the other side of the Olympians' base. And we haven't seen anything from Tensa right now, so I'm kind of expecting him to go after Forges Down's expansion right now, or my main base. But as you can see right here on the top corner of my screen, he's actually took the time to walk all the way around the map to the farthest position to hit my back base.
Local unit. Citadel upgrade complete.
So he's going straight for my grunt producing base, and I queued up Citadel on my main base early here, which was actually a really smart move because I'm going to go ahead and just sacrifice what I've got going on at my back base, because that thing's not going to live, and go straight into a double pump of Banshees off of my main.
Local units. Enemy engagement.
The troubling part here for our team is that we have nothing to take out Tensa right now in the back.
Local unit.
He's virtually untouched right now. And if Elysium's going to recall here and start playing defense, but Forges Down has no tanks really out to help us.
Local unit.
And so I'm going to try and take out the Olympians here. See if I can't even up the odds. As Elysium's just kind of getting stripped down.
Local unit.
And I see that Mitch has a Spartan tank already, so I'm just going to focus on the base here, make sure I get that, and then I'm going to go ahead and fight the tank.
Unit.
So I do successfully take out the Arbiter, but the problem is that Tensa is on double base as a Covenant, and just Tensa alone is basically me and Elysium's two bases combined right now.
All units.
And so I'm going to be taking my grunts and brutes and just kind of leading Mitch away from everything else, because we can't have him push right now, because Forges Down is taking his tanks to the back to try and get Tensa off of Elysium. So with the time that I'm buying, it's also giving me time to get these Banshees out, and with these Banshees I'm hitting Mitch's reactors.
Local units.
And not that it's going to stop him from power turret or anything, it could, but I think it's a little bit too late. But the fact that I'm taking him out of these reactors means that if he down teched on his base and was using those reactors as his main source, it means he has to stop and rebuild a reactor to pump. So Tensa's Brute Rush is finally over, but Elysium is crippled, and we got Tensa off his base before Mitch got the rest of my squads off of those back bases. So Forges Down is actually taking this key opportunity to push up, and I do have
Local units.
a little bit of air to support him.
All units. All units. Base under attack.
And we are pretty much lucky that both UNSCs are up front, because as you can see, Mitch's vehicle depots are both right on this front base, and we're able to take out one of them. And we are a little late though, because Mitch is going to get power turret here, and he does have Spartans, whereas Forges Down does not have Spartans in his tanks. And you can see that Tensa's actually getting air out of his own, but instead of Tensa helping out up here with this tank battle, he's going to be focusing on my base. And I was going to help out Forge right there with those tanks, but I thought it was more important to take out that vehicle depot, which once I take that out, I'm going to be helping him out now.
All units.
And one crucial mistake here, as you can see, is Tensa's actually being
All units.
not very wise with his Banshees. He's just trying to main down my base with all of his air. He's not trying to just drop my summits. And as you can see right now, I do have an air lead on Tensa, and I'm on one base
All units.
opposed to his two bases.
All units. All units.
So right here, it's just basically a Banshee tank battle. Both Arbiters are completely crippled to the point where they can't support or help right now.
All units.
And although Mitch did have Spartan tanks
All units.
early on, I had the early air numbers, and we pushed early enough that
All units.
we dropped his vehicle depots. So after the battle here with the stalling of Mitch's vehicle depots, Forge has a commanding tank lead,
All units. All
and I have about
all units.
a pretty solid air lead here too as well.
On station. Blocking Arby.
Now Tensa is still going to try and main down my base. He's pretty much just throwing all of his chips in on my base here. But he's going to fly off.
All units.
And that's mainly because Forge is down right here. He is going to be pushing again.
Circling.
All units.
And so once again it's going to be a Tank Banshee versus Tank Banshee fight. And we do have the air lead and the tank lead.
All units.
And Forge is down is actually healing my base now, so everything that Tensa did to my base, eventually trying to melt the middle of my base down into
All units.
maybe a carpet and a whole bunch of banshees killing it, it's not going to pay off. It's a really dumb idea what he was doing all game.
On station.
All units.
Another thing that you're going to notice this game is that Tensa has a double base going on, and he actually shields both of his double bases while all of this is going on. So while these tanks and banshees are all fighting, Tensa shields both of his bases when they're not going to be hit in this situation. And he also never bothers to build a brute squad and put them into a hook so he can build some vampires. So there's Elysium with a stasis, as Elysium's finally getting back in the game.
All units.
And now Tensa's finally getting vampires out, but the game's already over. Mitch has already been crippled, so this game was solely, I think, based off of Tensa's terrible decision making. He did not send a brute squad over to the hooks earlier, and he shielded both his main and secondary when they weren't even getting targeted all game.
All units.
And so I'm going to actually boost back all the way to Forge's main base right next to it, where you can see that the Olympians is finally getting back into the game. But Forge is just going to quickly take care of that Arbiter and this base.
All units.
And the Olympians is going to resign.
Send me.
All units.
So Tensa's actually just going to drag this game out. I'm not quite sure why, but we're going to go ahead and just pound on this shield.
All units. All units.
Show me.
And I'm at full pop, so I'm just going to buy my tech 2.
All units.
And Elysium has his vampires coming in.
All units.
And basically between Elysium's vampires and my banshees,
Local units.
and I'm soon to be teching repeating cannon here, I think Tensa's most likely going to quit before repeating cannon finishes up. But between Elysium's vampires and my full pop banshees here, we're just going to fight his vamps in air. And pretty much
All units.
that's going to be the end of this game. So I do have a few more videos I'm going to be posting of games against me and Tensa. So they're all pretty interesting games, I think. So
Victoria.
comment, rate, subscribe. Have a great day.